Well, hello, Fresno. It's Let's Talk Business. I'm Steve Walling, and my guest for this segment is Brad Huff. Brad is with StudentNest.com.
Yes, I am.
That is a online tutoring service.
That's right.
Brad, tell me about StudentNest.com.
Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly where you'd like me to begin, but the company has been up and running for 10, 11 years, and we have successfully tutored over 65,000 students, about 750,000, 750,000 hours of tutoring, and the company has been incredibly successful.
That's a few students in a few hours, Brad.
Yes, it is. Yes,
now,
it is.
Okay. First, give me a little history of how this company came about.
Okay. The founder of the company is Chandra Joshi.
Okay.
Chandra had a daughter in 7th grade all these years ago who was struggling a bit with geometry. No problem up until then. And they were looking for a way to tutor her successfully. Mm-hmm. And they tried the different local places and so on, and it wasn't working out. His wife, her mother, was from India. They went to India and were talking about the trouble of getting good tutoring, and they said, well, you go online. Okay, that's what you do. You go online. And so he checked it out and then came back here and discovered that there was no tutoring, there was no online tutoring other than a couple of companies where you typed in your question and then, then you waited, and then you might get an answer you could understand, and you might not get an answer.
Some type would appear on your screen possibly.
Right, and especially when you're doing geometry where you need shapes and figures and so on, explaining in text what you were doing was so. He built a platform, and the platform it's incredible. And if you want to experience this and so on, you can do so by going to the website, which is
StudentNest.com.
Right, StudentNest.com. Right, okay. And so you can visit the website and you can see what it looks like.
Take a trial run on it.
Right, exactly. And then the thing is that what really impressed me about this was the fact that the student has a headset with a microphone and the tutor has a headset with a microphone.
Okay, so you're able to not only communicate via text, but you can audio visual.
No text.
Oh, no text.
No,
okay.
It's a whiteboard, just like in a classroom.
Really?
And so you take the mouse and you left-click the mouse, and you drag the mouse across the screen, and you're writing on the screen. Okay, electronically. And you just do it with the mouse. And so if the student has a question, the student can talk to the teacher or the tutor and say, I don't understand this. And then the tutor can say, okay, and can make up a problem on the spot and ask the student to do it. And if the student has trouble with it, then the tutor can figure out how to help him.
This is done in real time?
Real time.
It's not like some pre-canned stuff that's up there and, A, B, C, and C, and if you pass and you go to the next question, if you don't, they refer
A, B, C,
you
I mean multiple choice, multiple guess.
Yeah, right, multiple guess.
Right.
Good. And we were talking earlier, we were talking about geometry in particular as being a conceptual experience for students versus a linear. If you know this and this and this, everything falls in place. Right. Geometry, all of a sudden, you're out in space. And, in forms
understanding
and stuff
shapes and forms and areas and all that kind of stuff.
And speaking of geometry, is math the primary format that you teach through this?
Yes. The principal content area is mathematics, and we've worked with children in kindergarten. We've had some great success. We have some children who are bedridden, chronic diseases and so on, and we've been able to help them because all you need is a computer and internet access. It's server-based, so you're not downloading megabytes of stuff and filling up your computer memory. Right. It's all server-based, and so and our tutors as well. They don't have. All they have to do is have the headset log into their website, and the student logs into the website, and this is predetermined. Okay, some of these tutoring companies is kind of on demand, on call, something like that. No, we want to know, how can we help this child? And then we set up a time that's mutually convenient for the tutor and for the student. And by the way, generally what we do is we say, and this is unbelievable, if a parent wants help for their child, and I know it's summertime and nobody's in trouble yet. Yeah, right. But when it gets to be October and report cards come out and so on, but some parents and grandparents too, they realize, my child or my grandson or granddaughter, they didn't do very well in math last year. How could I help them be better prepared and hit the ground running when school starts in a couple of weeks and so on? What we recommend is twice a week, one weeknight and then a weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, at the convenience of the child and the tutor. And one of the ways we've been successful is that we identify Okay, here's a child. This is the age of the child. Where is the student having trouble? If we can, and we have like a little pre-test that we can give the child.
Process or something.
Right. We ask the child to do some problems, and then we analyze.
Right.
You know, and so can we tell what the problem was based on their answers there, and based on that, then we say, okay, this tutor probably would be the best to work with that student.
So, all right. So you just don't randomly assign a tutor with a student. You try to match the tutor up so that you get a fit between the students. Okay.
We have some wonderful early elementary teachers or tutors. We have upper elementary, middle school, high school, and we tutor even people in college. Some of these people
all the way through graduate
school. Okay. Some people, they need to take a course in statistics, which drives them a little bit crazy. And we have excellent tutoring in the subject of statistics, as well as like kindergarten students and so on, who are, have trouble. I don't know, kind of the beginnings of mathematics and so on. And interestingly enough, when I'm working with a potential tutor,
right,
I say to that tutor, "What, sir or madam, what was your first experience with mathematics?" And they'll think and think and think. Well, I guess it was adding in first grade or multiplication. And I said, no, before then. And they're stumped. They can't remember it. I said, when you were 2 years old or 3 years old, right, and your mom took you to the grocery store, somebody said, "How old are you?" Right?
No comment.
Right? And they said, this many. I said,
I just did that with my grandson.
Right. I said, counting is the foundation of all mathematics. Okay? And after you learn to count, if you can't count, right, you're not going to do any mathematics at all. And so once you know that counting is where mathematics starts, and then what's adding, it's just a shortcut way, right? If I have 3 blocks and you have 7 blocks, how many do we have altogether? We could count them.
Right.
Okay? But, once you know that 3 plus 7 is 10, I mean, you get the right answer and you just saved a lot of time. A lot of mathematics is just the fact mathematicians are lazy. And so we figured out ways to shortcut.
Right.
And I sometimes say, okay, you have 5, your mother sends you the story, having a breakfast meeting or something like that, she needs 5 dozen donuts. So how many do you have?
You have my interest.
Well, if you're 3 years old or something like that, you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you can count to 60, you've got it. But it's going to take a while. If you know how to add, then you can say 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, and when you add it up, you'll get 60. But what's multiplication? It's nothing more than repeated addition. Once you know that 5 times 12 is 60, you've got the answer just like that. So anyway, so the thing is that the part of our success, or a strong part of our success, is the tutors whom we have recruited and trained and so on. That, number one, they really like working with children. Okay, or some of the people, they like working with older adults and so on.
I'm a parent or a grandparent.
Yes.
What are the key things that I need to look for if I am going to discover or come to a decision that maybe my child or grandchild might need tutoring? What is it that I'm looking for?
Well, first of all, if you say to your child or grandchild, okay, you're going to be studying math this year, and if the kid says, "Oh, I hate math,"
Light goes on. Okay, yeah.
That's it right there. We've had such success where a student, a parent, says, "I want my child to be tutored in math." And when they're in school, typically, what do they do when it's time for math? Okay, they kind of hunker down. They just kind of pretend that I'm not here. Okay, don't embarrass me by asking me a question that I can't answer. And so the first hurdle is, here's the student with a headset and the tutor who's could be thousands of miles away with a headset. And the child, it's math, and so the child just wants to be quiet and just kind of let this time pass without anything. But you can't hide in one-to-one.
Yeah.
Okay? And so I work with the tutors in saying, if the child is not responsive, I mean, you don't come right in and say, okay, what's 7 times 15? Okay? You introduce yourself to the child and so on, and plus the tutor has the results of this testing. And so frequently we discover that the problem is not, if the kid is, say, in 5th grade, the problem is not like what they didn't learn in 4th grade. It's what they didn't learn in 2nd grade. And so we don't say to the child, well, here's a 2nd grade book, you dummy, and then you learn that and then come back. But rather, we have ways that we can work at the child's age level, but then reinforce the skills and concepts that he or she missed earlier on.
Cool.
Also, the thing is, if a parent or grandparent wants to have a child be tutored, what we do is we say, you need to sign up for 8 hours. Guess how much 8 hours costs? It's $25 an hour. Okay, that's $200. And people say, $200? That's not, well, it's about half. The tutoring companies in Fresno and so on, it's typically $30 for 30 minutes or $25 for half an hour.
Right.
We do an hour for $25.
25.
Okay, we say sign up for 8 hours.
Right.
At any point during this time, if you're unhappy, we'll refund the entire amount. 100% guarantee. How many refunds have we given in the history of the company? Zero.
Zero.
And I'm not kidding. Okay, because before long, the student is looking forward to this.
Right.
And I could go on. I could tell you
Brad,
a lot of other
before we
interesting
go,
things.
and it's just about time to go. Are you focused mainly here in the Fresno Central Valley
Oh,
area?
no. We tutor students throughout California, Florida, Texas, Washington State, Nevada, Wyoming, or
So
Montana.
basically, you've got a national map that you
Yes,
can work from.
yes, absolutely.
So you got a kid that's got trouble in math. Do you focus on anything else besides math?
We have people who can provide tutoring in other subject areas, yes, but our
Okay.
main emphasis is
Main
mathematics.
emphasis math. This is the guy. This is the setup. It's great. Brad, thanks for being on the show.
Steve, thank you.
This is good stuff that you guys are providing. Great.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you when we come back.